Alright. Alright. Hello, class.
Hello.
How's everybody today?
Terrible.
Oh, tired.
It's close to Monday.
Well, Monday already happened,
Yeah.
so that's always good. Monday's over. The worst part is over, so now we can get through the rest of the week happily and ready to go, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, let me see if I can make this. Maybe? There we go. Okay, so we are starting a brand new piece today. Isn't that so exciting? Woo! Yes, everybody get hyped. Get hyped about it. Alright, so the name of our piece is Ancient Voices. Now, I want you guys to think for a minute. Use your imagination. Tell me what you think this piece might be about. What does it sound like to you?
Voices that are ancient.
Okay, yes, very good. Somebody go outside the box, broaden your horizons, kind of think about it for a minute, and maybe come up with a cool story behind it or something. Does anybody have anything? We'll talk about in a minute what it means, but I want to hear what you guys think first.
Old people.
Okay, old people, yeah, ancient. I mean, I'm getting old, right? I'm kind of like an ancient voice. No, okay. I try to make you guys laugh. Haha. Okay. Anybody else have any ideas?
Wizards.
Ooh, wizards. That sounds cool. Kind of like magic, almost. Yeah. Okay. I like it. I like your idea. Awesome. So, we're actually gonna listen to the first 17 measures of the piece. So everybody, pull out your music, and I want you to follow along, and we're just going to listen to the first little bit, okay? And then as you're listening, I want you to kind of imagine, after you hear what it sounds like, what you might think that it's about, okay? So let's go. Okay, so based on what we just heard, do you guys have any different ideas about what the story behind this might be?
Definitely wizards now.
Definitely wizards. Alright, you know what? If that works for you and that helps you play better, then it can definitely be about wizards. But I will tell you what the composer intended for it to be
Wait,
about.
is it about battle?
Okay, I can hear that. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good thought. So let me actually read what is at the beginning of Michael Sweeney's introduction about the piece. Okay, so everybody listen. This is under his performance notes. He said, "This composition is suggestive of the moods and sounds of early civilizations." So what does that make you guys think about?
Ancient Egypt.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, and that kind of sounds like that too, right? You can kind of hear, feels kind of Aztec-y, right? Yeah. I like to think about, when I first heard this, I thought about like cavemen, like cave people, right? Kind of like the Flintstones, right? No? Anybody know what Flintstones is? Am I that old? Okay. So it also says in here, since there has not been an attempt to depict any specific culture, so he didn't have anything, like any one idea in mind, this piece may conjure thoughts of early peoples of this continent. So maybe the first people to kind of settle in America or something like that. Or it may bring to mind even earlier populations who used the bones of mammoths and other animals as musical instruments tens of thousands of years ago. So when we play this piece, I kind of want us to think about that. You know, your trumpet didn't always look like a trumpet with metal and brass, and your clarinet wasn't always really nice and black and colored and things like that. So try to think about us playing maybe some kind of older instruments. And maybe the next class I'll show you guys some pictures of what those instruments look like so we can get a better idea of maybe what our sound is supposed to kind of be like in this piece. Okay? Cool. Moving on. Okay, so I also want us to listen to one more thing, and just to kind of tie in how this piece sounds like something older, because that doesn't sound like anything that we've played before, right? It doesn't sound like normal, like 6th grade band concert music, right? So I want us to, this will kind of help you guys understand how this sounds like an older piece. So the piece that I'm about to play for you is called, Jesus, where'd it go? There we go. That's also not it, there it is. The Stasimon chorus from Orestes. And this was written back in a time of music called the Antiquity. And it's a very old piece of music. So this is kind of like the beginnings of when music started to be performed and written down. So I want you guys to hear this. Just for a couple seconds. Yeah, so do you guys hear how that's kind of similar to what we just listened to in the piece that we're about to play?
Yeah.
So there's lots of use of kind of weird melodies, and we'll get into what those are called maybe in the next couple class periods. But you can hear that the melody doesn't sound very normal to what we're used to hearing. And you can also hear in that recording that there's lots of use of percussion. And this piece is very heavily set in the percussion part, so you guys will like it a lot, I think. Awesome, good. So let's do this. We're going to learn today our main goal of study for this class period. We're not going to play very much, which we aren't used to doing, but I want us to go over a concept called motives. Does anybody know what a motive is?
When someone does a crime.
Ooh, yeah. So like kind of like the reason that they do a crime, right? Like what was your motive? Like the crime shows. Yeah, that's good. So in music, a motive actually has a different definition. We're about to go over that right now. So let's get started. Awesome. So what is a motive? A motive, I found 2 different definitions online, and I put the links up there so you can go look for yourself and make sure that I'm not lying. A motive in music is a leading phrase or figure that is reproduced and varied through the course of a composition or movement. Could somebody tell me what they think that means? Because those are kind of some heavy words, so I want to break it down a little bit more for you, but what do you think that means? That's okay, this is a new word. So, basically, it's just a little section of the music that is played and reproduced, so played over again, and you find it in different parts of the song or piece, and varied, which means that they can change it up from time to time. And you find it all throughout a piece of music, okay? Or down here, a reoccurring subject, theme, or idea, especially. You can find a motive, also fun fact, in like English and literacy, in art, and in music. So all the creative things all thrown together to use this one word, which is pretty cool. Sometimes you'll see it spelled motif, more likely probably spelled motif, but just so you guys know, so you don't get confused when you see that word and it means the same thing. You're like, what's going on? So when it occurs in music, sometimes it comes back exactly the same way, and then sometimes the composer might make a slight change to it. So we're going to kind of talk about that next. So here's an example, and I'm going to play this song for you. We're going to look at it as happens. Have you guys ever heard this song before? La Cucaracha? If not, this is a pretty fun one. Okay, so we're going to use this as an example of motive. Ready? We're going to follow along. The same exact thing. And then this is the little answer part. And then this is the same thing as up here, but the notes are a little bit different, right? Can you see that? Okay, let's look at that again. Yeah, this is a fun song. Everybody dance. It's gonna be great. Where are you? thing, right? Bum, 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 bum. But it's a little bit different because this note is a little bit longer, right? Right, so it's the same exact notes, but he changes up the rhythm just a little bit. And this is the little answer part that comes after it. Bum, 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 bum. And then what do we have right here? What does this look like? Same rhythm.
Same.
Yeah, same rhythm as the top, but what's different about it?
Different
Last two notes.
pitches.
Last two notes are different.
Yeah, so these things right here, a little bit different. So we're going to call that motive A, which you don't have to know. But it's like the same exact idea, but just tweaked just a little bit, okay? And then we have the same exact thing as right here. Those are the same, right? Yep. And then what do we have right here?
It's like the answer, but
Yeah, it's just like this part right here, right? So these two things are very similar. They're not exactly the same, but the rhythms are the same, right? Okay, awesome. So you guys are doing that pretty good. I don't know how to clear all this. Perfect. There we go. Awesome. So you guys are understanding. So, Billy, could you tell me what a motive is?
it's like a theme.
Good. It's like a theme. Good. Chris, could you tell me something else about a motive?
The theme can change in some way.
Good.
It's still connected to the beginning or
Yeah.
the original.
Good. Good job. All right. Let's move on, and I have a couple more examples for you guys that you might know. Okay? So you've probably heard this before. So we're going to listen to the first little part of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. Okay? So listen and see how we just have the first little motive right here, but then I want you to listen and hear if you can hear the motive being changed at all throughout the first couple seconds of this piece, okay? I'll restart. So that's the motive. Now hear if you can hear that anywhere else.
Smart sound.
It's
Okay.
all over the place.
Yeah, you hear it all over the place. But what does it sound exactly the same as the first one? What do you think they change about it?
They changed the notes.
Yeah, they changed the notes. Do you guys hear that sometimes it's faster too, and sometimes it's slower? So it's like the same rhythm, but they just slowed it down a little bit or made it a little bit faster. Good, good job. Let's do one more of these. Do you guys want to do Indiana Jones or Star Wars?
Indiana Jones.
All right. Let's listen to this one. All right, so we're going to start right over here. So you guys hear the motive in there? Bum, bum. That's kind of a little motive. Good. So do we hear where the motive is in that one?
Yeah.
So bum 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 bum. Just that little rhythm is the same, but they changed the notes, right? So that's what we would call our little motif in that piece. Good. Awesome. So I want to have a discussion. Based on the things that we just talked about, what are some of the ways that we can make a motive different?
Change the notes.
Good. Yep. You can change the notes. Actually, I'm going to switch this up. Would somebody like to come up to the board and write down what they think? There's no right or wrong answers. I just want you guys to throw your ideas out there.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Awesome. I would be that kid. I'd be like, give me the marker. Yes. Good job. That's an awesome idea. So, don't you guys think that it would change the sound a little bit if we had a motive, if we had a piece that was in major, and we had a little motive that was in major, but we switched it up and we made it minor? That would totally kind of change the way that it sounded, right? But it would still be the same little motive. That was an awesome answer. Good job. Does anybody else? Chloe, would you like to come up and put an idea on the board? No? Okay, what if I wrote it down for you?
You could make it longer.
Good. Very true. So you can make the motive, I'm going to write motif, longer. And on that same note, what else could you do to it, Chris? You can make it longer or...
You can make it Shorter.
Boom! You guys are like geniuses. Awesome. So you make it longer or shorter. Does anybody else have any ideas?
Can you change the time signature?
Okay, that's a good question. That might fall into the same categories, making it longer or shorter. But I'm going to write that down because that's a good idea. And let me look that up because I'm not quite sure how that would work. But I bet you people have done it. So let me get back to you tomorrow. And I'll write that down on my list of things to look up and I'll have an answer for you tomorrow. Okay? Awesome. And I'll put a question mark beside it. Or actually, let me do change. Along this note, I have one more thing in mind that you can do that kind of has to do with a signature. So you could change the time signature maybe, question mark. Or you could change the,
Signature.
yes, you can change what key it's in. So that kind of goes along with major and minor, but if you stay in the same key, let's say you're in G major and you want to make your motive G minor, then we're kind of in the same key-ish, right? But if you are in C major and you want to put, you change your piece to go into F major, then you're changing the key altogether, right? So good. Change keys. Awesome. These are all super great ideas, guys. Look, we're just now learning this stuff, and you guys are learning so much. Oh, that was disappointing. Okay. I just know this isn't going to go away if I go to the next slide. Nothing? Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is tragic. So you guys, when you get older, you don't know how to work technology as well. So, how many of you guys know how to work a smartboard?
We use it all the time.
Yeah?
In our day and age.
Oh, you youngsters. Young whippersnappers. Alright, that's good enough. Good. Awesome job, guys. So, now we are going to look at the motive from ancient voices. Ooh. So you guys didn't think I was just teaching you about motives for fun, right? There's actually a motive in ancient voices. So, would you mind thanking me?
I could play flute, that'd be great. Yeah.
I don't have something. Matt, come put that there. Trumpet and bells. So I would like for you guys to take turns doing this since I only have the bells part. So as she plays, could you follow along? And then at the first time, she'll play, and then the next time you guys will switch. So you both get a chance to play, okay?
Okay.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay, so this motive, if you're a flute player, you'll see that this motive comes from measures 9 through 17 of your music. But I wrote it for everybody else so we could all practice. Because everybody has this motive or a variation of this motive at some point in the piece, okay? So I want us to all play it together to get a feel for how the original is supposed to sound so that we can recognize it later on in its different forms when it comes through, okay? So everybody take 10 seconds. Make sure that you have your fingerings. You can silently just go through your fingerings really fast. If you have a question, you can quietly ask your neighbor, or you can raise your hand and I can come and help you. And be careful because we have some accidentals in there, right? We have some kind of funky notes. All right, let's try it.
Yeah.
All right, so from the beginning, and we'll take it kind of slow, okay? Ready? So, 1, 2, 3. to help us get into that place.
Tighten your lip.
Yeah, so tighten is kind of a negative word, so I want you to think about pulling them closer to your cheeks.
Oh.
So pull the corners of your mouth closer to your cheeks and kind of have a nice smile, like an elephant. I'm not very good at it, and I play trumpet. Alright, awesome. So let's try that again. Chris and Chloe, would you mind switching? And then Chloe, since you've already played it, will you still go through and practice
One.
in air
It's
bells?
like two,
In
one,
air
two,
barrel.
Do you want to do
two,
one?
one, two, one,
Because
two.
the E flat, oh, E flat's 2, 3 or 1? 2. 2 only?
Two.
Two, one.
E flat is 2. So let me see what we got here. We have C, D, okay. You got it? Yeah, there we go. Lots of air is going to help you get through that, okay? Use as much air as you need to hit those notes. All right, ready? Everybody together, one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, trumpet sounds better. The farther we got into it, the better it felt for you to find that one.
Yeah.
Good, so the more we practice that, the better it will get. Percussion, how do we do back there? Should we do it one more time?
Sure.
Let's do it one more time. Okay, ready? So there's one more thing that I want us to be able to get to, okay? Ready? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Close is a little... Good job. Chloe, thank you for helping him out since you felt more comfortable with it. That was great. Awesome. And we will get that better as we move along, okay? But for the most part, we know how the motive sounds like now, right? In this piece of music that we're getting ready to learn?
Yes.
Good. So, I want us to do one more activity, okay? So, we're going to do some detective work.
I never played.
So, you know what's so funny is that we were just talking about motives in like crime shows. We have to find the motive. That's exactly what we're about to do, okay? So, as a section, so trumpets, could you work together? And percussion, work together as well. Do you have the bells part? Okay, perfect. So, I want you guys to look in your pieces of music for, and I will actually put it up here as well. What do you guys have in front of you? Okay, so we are going to do some detective work. Are you guys ready? I want you to go through your parts as a section. And if you have trumpet 1, trumpet 2, look for both parts. And if you have multiple different parts of your instrument, then look for both parts because they might be different. But I want you to look through your entire piece for the next like 5 to 7 minutes. And I want you guys to find all of the times where you think you have the motive or a different type of motive, right? So it might be the same motive, but the rhythm might be different, the notes might be different, it might be shorter, it might be longer. So I'll go back on the board and I will write down all the ideas that we have so you guys can look at that list to be able to go back and look at. But as a team, I want you guys to come up with as many different ways, or as many different times you have the motive. So write down the measure number, and I'll write this down on the board too. So I want you guys to have the measure number in one section, or the measure numbers. So if it goes through 2 measures, write down all 2 measures. And then in what way is the motive different?
Can we
So
play any parts to see if we can hear them right? If we're hearing them correctly?
Sure, yeah, you guys can go to different sections of the room if you want, and if you play them quietly and at a nice volume, everybody should be cool. Okay? How is the motive different? So your answer could be, I want you to put what part it is too. So if you have multiple parts, so if you have like trumpet 1, trumpet 2, whatever, put a part right here. So everybody can kind of make a chart that looks like that. So you guys remind me of the ways that we said that the motive could be different. We said
Longer, shorter.
good. Billy, give me one.
Different notes.
Good. Chris.
Changing the key.
Awesome. Chloe.
Changing time signature.
Good.
Yes, we would do that.
Different key. Alright. Is that what you said, Chris? Did you say different key?
Yes.
Okay. And Chloe, you said time signature. We're missing a big one. Starts with an R.
Rhythm.
Rhythm. Boom. Okay? Alright. So I want you guys to work in your pairs. And we can find all the different times that each part has the motive, okay? So take about 5 minutes to do that. And I'll come around and walk and help you guys
I'm not
out.
sure if it sounds
Yeah,
like
it's
that or not.
this.
It might sound like the second one.
And it kind of sounds like this, but instead of holding it out, it keeps going.
I'll give you a try.
So yeah, so I guess you can.
Did you guys paper? Okay.
We won't call that a thing then.
What is your
Well, I mean,
what is your debate? Let me come and help you.
We're at, in 1, 2, 3, measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the, starting in measure 6 of the etude, we've got.
Where?
And we weren't sure whether that was the same as like 40, 42, 43,
Where?
44, and 45.
Let me guess the motive.
It comes back in.
So, I wouldn't call that quite the motive, but it is definitely an important part of the song. Okay, so try to find things that are
It comes in a different time.
But that was a really good idea. That's pretty close. Okay, you're on the right track.
It just sounded
Does it
weird.
sound? Yeah, very true. Oh yeah, very close.
And then you got it.
Okay.
74, change the note.
75.
74
Okay.
and 75.
28.
And we don't, trumpet tubes don't have that. We don't have the same thing.
Could we
have
put
it,
the
I
price
think
on
at
that?
18. 4 under 18, so that's 22.
We have the same exact.
No, I don't have the same thing.
Good job. You have
That's,
the right
but
track.
I think you have, I think you have the thing.
Because I think over my 25 minutes, I'm gonna let Chloe do hers. But yeah, so we will go over that tomorrow, guys. And awesome. I hope you learned something about motives.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel smarter now.
23.
Hooray.
And probably just drums. You really did ours, like, real.
No more reading trouble for you.
No more trouble.
Actually, I